beneath the pale glow of a full moon. At its heart stood St. Mary's Chapel, a time-worn relic echoing with the whispers of ages past. Weathered gravestones stretched into the surrounding darkness, a graveyard frozen in time, hiding the secrets that danced on the edge of perception. Thomas Langley, a historian driven by an insatiable curiosity, arrived at Ravenswood on a night steeped in moonlight. The villagers, steeped in superstition, warned him of an unspoken malevolence lingering within the chapel's crumbling walls. Undeterred, Thomas crossed the chapel's threshold, the creaking door protesting his intrusion into the... Inside, the chapel was a tapestry of ancient stories unraveling. Dust motes swirled in the dim light filtering through cracked stained glass windows. Thomas traversed the aisle, the groaning floor beneath echoing in the stillness. An ethereal hush gripped the air, as if the chapel itself held its breath in anticipation. The chapel's altar, adorned with withered blooms and remnants of forgotten offerings, beckoned Thomas. An aged ledger lay open, its pages filled with the faded ink of centuries past. One entry seized his attention: Eleanor Blackwood. The ledger spoke of her untimely demise and an unmarked grave concealed in the shadows of the village graveyard. As the moon ascended to its zenith, casting an ethereal glow upon the village, Thomas ventured into the graveyard. The tombstones, ancient sentinels of time, stood tall in the moonlit haze. The names etched upon them had long succumbed to the erosion of time, and the distant echoes of an owl's haunting call filled the night. Eleanor's unmarked grave emerged from the darkness, its secrets whispered by the wind. Thomas, compelled by an unseen force, began to unveil the obscured tombstone. The name Reverend Samuel Blackwood, etched below Eleanor's, sent an inexplicable shiver through his being, as if the very earth recoiled at the revelation. The village archives, housed in a dilapidated manner, revealed manuscripts chronicling the enigmatic tenure of Reverend Blackwood. Forbidden rituals and clandestine gatherings beneath the chapel unraveled before Thomas's eyes. Determined to expose the malevolence that tainted Ravenswood, he embarked on a perilous journey into the abyss of forgotten lore. Among the dusty tomes, Thomas discovered a concealed chamber beneath the chapel, its entrance veiled by time-stricken tapestries. The chamber, bathed in the flickering glow of forgotten candles, unveiled an altar adorned with symbols of a malevolent. Revelations within the manuscripts spoke of a dark covenant forged by the Reverend, an unholy pact trading eternity for unspeakable sacrifices. Fueled by a desperate resolve, Thomas initiated a ritual to unveil the obscured truths. The air thickened with an otherworldly energy, symbols on the altar glowing with an ominous radiance. The chapel's windows shattered, and the ground beneath trembled as the malevolent entity, angered by the intrusion, stirred from its ageless slumber. Storm clouds gathered above as Thomas confronted the malevolent force. Unearthly wails echoed through the chamber as incantations escaped his trembling lips. Symbols on the altar pulsed with an unholy vibrancy, casting spectral shadows, dancing upon the chapel's walls. The malevolent entity, an indescribable darkness coalescing, seemed to feed upon the fear permeating. In a final act of desperation, Thomas unveiled an ancient relic, a talisman of protection passed down through generations. The talisman, pulsating with divine light, repelled the malevolent force. A blinding burst of energy filled the chamber as the entity recoiled, its influence waning. As the storm above reached its crescendo, Thomas emerged from the forbidden chamber, his body battered by the supernatural confrontation. The air in the chapel cleared, revealing a graveyard bathed in the moon's spectral glow. The malevolent force that had plagued Ravenswood for centuries dissipated into the night. Haunted by the revelations, Thomas paid his respects at Eleanor's grave. The storm, now a distant memory, left behind a village submerged in an eerie calm. The whispers of the graveyard ceased, and the ancient oaks stood silent, as if bearing witness to the tale of redemption that had unfolded within the chapel's walls. The next day, as Thomas prepared to depart Ravenswood, he couldn't shake the feeling of unseen eyes watching him from the shadows. The untold story of Reverend Blackwood and the malevolent cult had come to light. But the echoes of the past lingered. As the village faded into the horizon, Ravenswood's cryptic history became another chapter in Thomas's relentless pursuit of the unknown. Weeks passed, and the events in Ravenswood haunted Thomas's every waking moment. Determined to unravel the remaining mysteries, he delved deeper into the forbidden knowledge he had unearthed. The malevolent force, now weakened but not extinguished, lingered in the recesses of his mind. One moonlit night, Thomas received an anonymous letter. Its contents, written in a script both ancient and foreboding, spoke of a final revelation awaiting him in Ravenswood. Despite the growing unease in his heart, Thomas felt an irresistible pull back to the village, as if the shadows themselves were beckoning him. Returning to Ravenswood, Thomas found the village enshrouded in an unnatural fog. The air was heavy with the weight of something unseen. St. Mary's Chapel stood before him, its silhouette distorted by the mist. Guided by an otherworldly force, Thomas descended into the chapel's forbidden chamber once more. Symbols on the altar glowed faintly as he entered. The malevolent force, weakened but not defeated, awaited his return. Thomas, armed with the talisman and the knowledge acquired, prepared for a final confrontation. Incantations filled the chamber as the symbols on the altar responded with an ominous vibrancy. The malevolent force, now a mere shadow of its former self, emerged from the darkness. A distorted voice echoed through the chapel, revealing the tormented soul of Reverend Blackwood. The dark pact forged in desperation had bound him to the village, his spirit forever entwined with the malevolent entity. In a climactic struggle between light and darkness, Thomas confronted the remnants of the malevolent force. The talisman's divine light clashed with the shadows, each incantation reverberating through the chapel. The ancient oaks outside seemed to bow in acknowledgement, their branches whispering secrets long held. As the confrontation reached its zenith, the malevolent force dissipated, its ethereal cries fading into the night. Reverend Blackwood's tortured soul found release, and a profound calm settled over Ravenswood. The fog lifted, revealing a village reborn from the shadows. Thomas, exhausted but triumphant, emerged from the chapel. The ancient oaks stood tall, their branches now free from the weight of malevolence. Ravenswood, once a haven for darkness, embraced the first light of dawn. In the days that followed, the village underwent a metamorphosis. The whispers of the graveyard transformed into gentle breezes, carrying tales of redemption. St. Mary's Chapel, once a symbol of despair, stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As Thomas left Ravenswood for the final time, he felt a profound sense of closure. The malevolent force that had gripped the village for centuries was vanquished, and the shadows that haunted his dreams retreated. The untold story of Ravenswood became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest corners, redemption could prevail. And so Ravenswood rested beneath the watchful eyes of the ancient oaks, its secrets buried with the passage of time. The echoes of Thomas's footsteps faded into the distance, a mere whisper in the eternal vigil of the village.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like it for more content like this.